Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another video from me. And I want to talk about something I've heard and seen people say a whole lot lately since the reveal of the Switch, and that is that the Wii U, or better yet, I should say, the Switch is what the Wii U should have been. And I have a problem with that statement. Firstly, because if the Wii U with the name the Wii U was what the Switch currently is going to be, it would have still just done just as bad. Whereas the Wii U was a console that had a controller with a screen, the Switch is a console with a screen that has controller attachments. That's it. And I'm I look at that and I'm like, what? Like, there's no way that you could think that if the Wii U was this, it would have sold as well. Firstly, it would have been even more expensive than what the Wii U was, because the technology that's available now for the Switch to be made wasn't around back then, and it would have had to been extremely customized in order to make it, which would have made it far more expensive. I mean, it's not like the chipset that's in the Switch isn't customized, as NVIDIA themselves have said. It is a customized Tegra chipset with a customized GeForce GPU chip. So I look at it like this. In order for it to the Wii U to have been the Switch, people have been coming out like $600-700 out their pockets, and we saw how well that worked for the PS3 early on in its life, didn't we? It didn't start actually picking up steam until the price was halved, basically, for people to pick one up. That's when it started to actually grow in an install base, and that's not counting all the yellow light of deaths and all that other stuff that happened to PS3. It's very similar to the red ring of death for the Xbox 360. Though the Xbox 360 was cheaper to get, so I don't think I think that's why not as many people minded as much with the 360. I mean, a lot of people were pissed. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm getting sidetracked. Um, yeah, the Switch coming out back then, coming out 2012, way more expensive. It was mobile hardware to get the same type of performance as a dedicated home hardware. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. It would have definitely been a lot more expensive, because you have to make the form factor smaller, but you also have to put more stuff in it, and that, ooh, yeah, back then, ooh, that would have been complicated as hell. And on top of that, people are talking about talk about how different the Wii U is from the PS4 and the Xbox One. Guess what? The Switch is just as different when it comes to hardware. And if the Switch was in the Wii U situation, where you had developers dropping off, and that's still a possibility, you had developers dropping off, and games that were promised don't show up, even though these companies claimed, oh, we support Nintendo, we like their stuff, but you don't actually support the console with games that people, one, were expecting because you told them that they were going to be there, and two, could actually be run on that hardware because it was run on the 360 and the PS3 with no problem. And a lot of games are still coming out for the PS3 and Xbox 360 that could have easily have been put on the Wii U. Especially if you're considering porting from the 360 to the Wii U, which made the process a lot easier. I mean, it wasn't exactly one to one, but it was a lot easier to do it that way, and you could work on optimizing the performance from there, even though a lot of companies didn't do that back then either. So I just look at that statement and I'm like, do you really understand what you're saying? Or are you really putting thought to what you're saying? Or are you just saying it because it's what everybody agrees with? Because if you're saying things just because other people agree with them, you're nothing more than a lemming at that point. Because your opinion is everyone else's opinion. That's about as far as it goes. You don't have your own frame of thought. You follow what everyone else says. And you have to be accepted by everyone else. And if you stay with that mindset, then you're not really benefiting yourself, because let's just say that the Switch was completely negatively received, and that 95% positive reception was a 95% negative reception. You wouldn't be saying the Switch is what the Wii U should have been. You would be saying, oh, it's just another gimmicky console by Nintendo again that nobody wants. That's exactly what would be being said. Which, again, Nintendo is gimmicks. Everyone has a gimmick. The biggest gimmick right now is 4K gaming. And you want to know why that is? Because it's easy to impress a bunch of people who don't give a damn about something with visuals. It's much easier to impress those people with visuals than it is to impress them with something that actually makes you have to think about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Because people like super simple things. They don't want to put thought into what they're doing. They don't want to have to put any sort of effort into it. But the bad thing is, when you put effort into fun, sometimes it gets to be more fun. And I'm not talking about the type of effort where you have to struggle with something. I'm talking about the type of effort that actually feels like it's rewarding to you, where you actually feel like you've accomplished something. But that's just my own personal thoughts on that. That's really all I had to say. It's just I kept seeing that statement. I'm like, there's no way. If the Wii U itself, even like another way to look at it, if the Wii U didn't exist, the Switch couldn't exist. Because they had to have some stepping stones somewhere to lead up to that. And Iwata was definitely very good with taking a concept for something and making it better. He did the very same thing with the GameCube. He made the Wii. Then from the Wii, he made the Wii U. And if he was around to be able to see it, yes, he's the one that spearheaded the Switch. All of what the Switch is stuff that Iwata put together or came up with. And Nintendo's just following the path that he set forward for them. So it's definitely, I give the full credit to him for everything that he did. Unfortunately, he's not able to see what he's done. But it's his effort. He deserves the credit for it. But that's it. I'm done. I'm done talking on this matter. It's just like I said, that stuck to my head, and I had to say something about it. I just didn't understand how people could say that so nonchalantly. Getting tongue tied. Nonchalantly. God damn it! What's wrong with me in speaking today? Yeah, that just made no sense to me. And I was just thinking it over, and I'm like, no. Think about what you're saying before you say it. Please put some thought into your words before you let them tumble out of your mouth. But that's it, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, please enjoy your games. Peace out.